Metallica. Yeah. Ooh, give me fuel, give me fire. Yeah. Metallica, who I just went and saw. By the way, I've seen the little TikTok videos of you guys filming me at the last Metallica show in Tampa. Did I lose my mind? Yeah, I lose my mind. I'm not going to be Mr. Celebrity like, okay, I'm just going to... When you're into what you're doing, you let go. Like if I go to a baseball game, they hit a home run, I'm like, yeah! I'm not going to go, well, I'm a celebrity, so I have to... No! That's what you're there for. Except when I was at Metallica, every single song... They played almost everything I wanted, but they pretty much what I wanted. So, yeah, I lost my mind. I've seen a couple of the TikTok videos. Very entertaining. You're not trying to scare me. You're not going to blackmail me. I encourage you to show them because I air guitared my ass off every single song, and my neck was killing me for a week and a half after. Do you even know who Michael Jackson is anymore? Okay. Did you know he had a sister?
No.
No?
No.
No? He doesn't even know. Janet Jackson?
Really?
Oh. See, everyone over 50, do you remember when like your aunt and uncle would come home and be like, we saw the Shooby Bots. Oh, they were huge in the 50s. You're like, oh, okay. Oh, they had this song and that song. And you, as a teenager, were like, okay, I guess so. I guess they were big in your time. I'm now in that time. He's never heard. How old are you?
25.
25. He's never heard of Janet Jackson. A lot of you haven't either. All right. The foreskin. What'd you say, bud? Not the foreskin? What? Whoever just wrote that on Instagram, where, what? What are you referring to? How do you go from Janet Jackson heavy metal where's the foreskin? Which, off the cuff, who created that foreskin thing? Who said, well, now that the baby's born, let's cut off the top of its penis and the skin and be gone with it? What kind of society do we live in? And no one questions that. Nobody questions. Do any of you know where that came from? No? Okay. I don't either. So where's the foreskin? Have you heard of Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great.
He just smokes a lot of pot, right?
Yes. He's the smoke pot guy. So, that's another whole story. And people were asking the movie Half Baked, hey, Snoop Dogg was the only one that smoked real pot on the set of Half Baked. That's another whole story to get into. And you know what else he did to me on set? The black community, you know what I'm talking about. He did D's nuts on me. Snoop Dogg, during filming Half Baked, he said, hey, man, D was looking for you. I went, D? And he goes, D's nuts. I went, oh, my God, I just got D's nuts by Snoop Dogg. You guys don't even know what I'm about to show you. Listen, not to what she's saying, but listen to how they interrupt and the words they use. And why isn't this playing? Hold on now. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Oh my God, I'll look like a jackass if this don't go. Mother. Why is this not happening? Oh, mother of pearl. I don't know if it's going to... Why is this was playing? Damn it. Damn it.
What is it?
Yeah, it's right here. I don't know why it's not doing it. It was playing before, at least I thought it was.
I think you screen grabbed it without the sound.
I screen grabbed it without the sound because that's what you do when you're 58 and you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. I remember when I was a little kid. I don't know why I was horny. I'd watch this little show, and the show was The Magic Garden. And it was two women playing, and one had a guitar. I was 5 years old. I didn't even know what being excited. I just know my belly felt funny. And I would sit on my bed just watching it, rubbing back and forth. I didn't know what was going on. I'm being serious. I didn't know what's going on. Matter of fact, when I see a female wearing stockings all my life, I'm going to say some stuff here I'm not happy about. And you may try to hold it against me. But back then, I remember my parents weren't home when I was young one day. I think I was like 7 years old, and they were out in the back. And I snuck in my mom's drawer, and I pulled out her pantyhose. Because for some reason, when I'd see pantyhose, I would get horny, and my belly would feel funny. Does that mean I should cut my penis off and start playing and taking hormones and play in sports? No. I didn't have the school telling me what I am. I didn't have the government tell me what I am. I didn't have funding tell me who I am. I knew what I was on. And I knew when I stood in front on my bed in my mom's room with those pantyhose on, I went, this is weird, dude. This is weird. I don't know what I thought. Maybe I'm just, this ain't happening for me. All right. So the band is doing a concert, and they do a kiss cam, and they go on this couple, and he's the CEO. We put CEOs on a platform. We put rock stars on a platform. We put politicians on a platform. We put certain payrolls on a platform. And there's all your false idols and ego. This guy's like, I'm the CEO. And she comes in. I don't know the situation. I'm the head of HR. Isn't HR like how you're supposed to have relationships?
That she would have been the person that you would have gone to if this was happening inside below the company. This is the most ironic
So
part.
if you're having sexual issues and whatever in a company, you go to the head of HR. But the head of HR is giving it to the CEO. Let's go. I've got a suite for Coldplay. Bonk, 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 bonk. Check me out. I'm the CEO. And this is my HR. Is there any problems? Oh, there's a problem now. There's a problem now. And then let's cut to the friend. Who's the friend right next to him going, oh boy. Not only are they caught, I am too for keeping my mouth shut and possibly encouraging this behavior. Oh yes, because I make lots of money and I've been demoralized in the power of what I deserve. Dude. Ego, pride has now just destroyed 2 families. Do yourself a favor. Go look up Michelle Obama dancing on Ellen's show. And I want you to explain what is it that's bouncing in Michelle Obama's pants. What can a female have that is clearly bouncing? Yeah, this one. What is bouncing? Watch right here. Watch. What? Come on, get in there. Get in there. It starts bouncing. Look at it. She grabs it a couple times too. It starts bouncing. Look, right there. Right there. Right there. Look right there. Right there. What is that? Boom. Start bouncing. And it starts moving in the pants. Go look it up yourself. You said that Jim Breuer's an effing punk ass mother effing sucking Putin's donkey. You effing suck. Was that you? Well, and normally I got to be honest with you, I do not respond to this because I know this is an unhinged human being. This is unhinged. And so I laughed. I put the laughed emojis up. And then I simply sent him a video to humanize it. And I said, do you feel better? And he went, yeah, real funny, mother effer. Putin is effing bombing and killing innocent Ukrainians. You piece of... And he goes on and on and on. And I said, so what does that have to do with me? What is Putin and me being a mother effer and all this? I want you to think about, and we go into it. I'm going to show you how we went to this. And he goes, I said, what does it have to do with me? Which he replies, you talking Zelensky, he's a mother effing hero. Okay. I love a man in tights. I love Zelensky's old videos when he's got his tights and he's flamboyant and he's an actor and a comedian before he became your hero. I get it. I can see how he's probably a great decorator. He probably can ice skate, figure skate like a mofo. I bet you Zelensky must be able to do one of these when he's on the skates and come around. And whatever rocks your boat, brother. Let's go with the theory that Muslims learned how to fly a plane. Okay? That from the desert. They were from, I don't know, where they said they were from? Osama bin Laden, wherever he was from. So a bunch of Islamists, or whatever they labeled them out, for 5 years they learned how to fly a plane. Okay. Let's say they were on a, not one of them, not one, said, you know, I kind of like watching baseball. And and I kind of like, you know, some of the American food. And since I'm able to fly, I mean, why not go home and learn to fly a commercial jet? We're going to go with that theory. I lived in Chester, New Jersey. When Trump was in town, if a plane went up, there were Lear jets there. And they were seconds. You have Air Force bases in Jersey. You have Air Force. Did our military just, were they sleeping? And I'm not attacking military. I'm asking you, do you not think about these things? So they fall asleep at the wheel by guys parachuting. They just no one saw the parachutes coming in. I saw those videos. I'm not crazy, right? Weren't they like parachuting in? Yeah. So parachutes are coming over a wall. No security. Nobody. Whoops. Missed out on that. Israel dropped the ball. So let me ask you this. That's your excuse for killing and bombing all the rest of the countries that's going on now. So I just have a question. Common sense. We need to support Israel. Hamas is, everyone says this. Oh, so you're a Hamas supporter. No. I don't like that they're killing children. Well, they hide them in hospitals and they hide innocent people. I am so sick of that ridiculous comment. So let me ask you this. When we have a shooter in a school or a hijacking situation, let's say there's terrorists in a school. Do we bomb our children? Do we bomb the kids? How many innocent lives? About 300. How many bad guys? Just 6 of them. Bomb it all! Yeah! Well, October 7th. Hey, what about the hospitals? There's 3 or 4 bad guys in there. Bomb it all! Yeah! What kind of sick mentality is that? If this guy, okay, this guy right here, He comes over and he goes, and he does horrible things to this guy and his family. Are you with me? But now this guy goes, I'm killing you, I'm killing you, I'm killing you, I'm killing you, I'm killing you. Who, what country? I'm killing them, I'm killing them, I'm killing them. Don't you think Chuck Schumer should be up there with his glasses going, I really think that Donald Trump should release the Epstein files? Don't you think so? I can't take that guy. And not because he's a political affiliation. I don't trust anyone when they have their readers here and they talk to you in this situation. I couldn't stand the other guy. Who's during the Bush administration? Cheney. Let me tell you something. Any psychiatrist will tell you when you speak in this demeanor, that's not a good demeanor. You're hiding something. Let me tell you something. Watch every time Chuck Schumer speaks, he talks like this and he like that. I don't trust him. I don't trust his demeanor. Why isn't Chuck Schumer going, I want to see the Epstein files? Why isn't Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton going, we demand the What happened to the Me Too movement? Where's all the Me Too's going, hey, listen, we get very upset and we're going to march because women were touched and they were looked at funny. But hey, children getting raped on an island. Let's get a new deal for a TV show and keep quiet about this one. Hey, Israel, you want some more money? Ah! We got everyone so brain controlled, they're sending Jim Breuer messages because he said Zelensky wears tights, even though he did. Yes, sire, we control them all. Do you think one day they'll realize their own power within? The God within them all. The spirit within them all. You know, they did kill the ingenious people, the indigenous. I can't pronounce it. We'll say Indian. We'll say native. Yes, I like native because if I say Indian, they won't know which type. Also would call other departments in Sears and I would prank them. Like there was an old lady that lived in Linens and I felt bad for her. So I'd call her up and flirt with her, pretending I was an old man. I'd be like, hey, Carol, you looked great today when I walked by. I love that sunflower dress. And I left some pork lo mein on your register. And she's like, where are you? Why don't you come say hello? I'm like, I'm too embarrassed. I can't tell you who I am. And I kind of felt like I was doing a good thing. I was playing the Paramount, Long Island, in Huntington. And someone screamed out, long live paint. I said, yeah. And he goes, no, I was there. It's Scott. And I looked down, and it was the guy from Toys, Scott. Now, Scott also went to my high school. Scott worked in Toys. I used to torment Scott. So I got to take you back in time here. Take me back. It's 80s, and back then, he was a heavy kid. Back then, he was a heavy kid. So when you were trained to work in a department store, they would tell you, no matter how big your line is, if that phone rings, you must pick up the phone because you don't know if that's someone checking on you, a district manager or a manager. You must excuse the customer. Excuse me 1 second. I have to take this call. You take the call and you go, Sears, this is Jim Breuer, paint department. How may I help you? I have to put you on hold. I'm with a customer. You have to address this person. All right. So whenever Scott was busy, and when he was busy, he was heavy. So he's always sweating. And then one day it was Cabbage Patch. And in the 80s, Cabbage Patch was whatever the new phenomenon was. This was huge. Now, remember I told you I lived near a black neighborhood? Well, a lot of the black women came. They wanted a Cabbage Patch doll. There was only like 2 black Cabbage Patch dolls. It was all white Cabbage Patch dolls, so the black ones went quick. So they were pissed. They were all like Jamaican. Well, what you mean you ain't got no black Cabbage Patch dolls? I've been here since 7 a.m. 7 a.m. What you mean? And you'd have to write them a rain check. And that's when he'd get yelled at, but that's when I would call him. And she'd like, no, I'm with you now. No, I don't care who's on the phone. And he'd pick up the phone, and I'd go, hey, I'm driving in today from Massapequa. You know, I have to put you on hold. Like, don't put me on hold, you son of a bitch. You put me on hold last week. And I'd have him write down, do you have Wilson basketball, serial code, blah, blah, blah. I'd drive him nuts, absolutely nuts. And until he caught me one day, he's like, was that you? I'm like, yeah. I said, hey man, I'm Jim. I work in paint. If you need anything. And he says, hey man, why don't you stay in your department? He goes, you know, you come here, you look high all the time. He goes, you know, we're here to serve people. You understand that, right? He goes, you don't know anything about paint. I've seen you tell people that they should stain their kitchen. I've seen you tell people that you should use gloss, like on the outside of that. You don't know anything about the paint department. I said, hey, you know, I'm just having fun. He goes, do me a favor and stay in paint. He's a little snippy. So I walk back to paint. Now, I'm a little aggravated. First of all, I'm already judging him hard because, in my opinion, if you're like in your 40s and you work in Sears Hardware, like something happened. You know what I mean? Like you're not crushing it. And you're not, something's going down. So I decide I'm going to call him, prank him. On every newspaper is, again, Muammar Gaddafi is evil. We must kill Muammar Gaddafi. Libya, bad. Libya, bad. Muammar Gaddafi was the boogeyman. We had to go after him. And he shot missiles at an American plane while they were flying over his country, and we bombed his tent. Literally bombed his tent. Just sheets floating. And I don't even know if he had missiles. I think the poor bastard had bottle rockets. Come there. And we bombed him. So I call up the hardware department, and this is pre 9/11, obviously, and I can see him. He's like 50 feet away. I can see him, and he picks up the phone. He goes, "Hi, this is John, Sears Hardware Department. How can I help you today?" And I'm on my life. I'm looking at him, and I said, "Hello." I said, "Hello. This is Muammar Gaddafi. I have sent 6 of my Libyan missiles," and I'm watching them, "to blow up the Sears Hardware Department in Valley Street, New York." I even went, and I said, "You have 15 minutes to evacuate all of the tools and the hammers and the drill bits of the hardware." And I ended by saying, "You remember this, my hardware friend. Long live paint." Okay? And I hung up the phone, and I'm cackling. Now, in the paint department, I left the floor, went to the break room. I'm enjoying my moment of hilarity. And about 15 minutes later, I go back out on the floor. On my life, I'm looking for Scott, and there's no customers. There's nobody in Sears. So all of a sudden, a plainclothes security guy comes out of the stockroom. He's like, "Breuer, we got one more. He goes, "Come on, man, we gotta go." I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "The new guy from hardware. He got a bomb threat. We gotta evacuate. Like we're evacuating." And I went, "What?" I said, "That was me." And he goes, dude, it's not funny. I went, no, it's hilarious. That was me. And he goes, oh, all right, hold on. We got a false alarm. Goes, dude, are you being serious right now? He's like, you're in a lot of trouble if you're being serious. I went, yeah, I'm being serious. He goes, bro, we're like in the middle of evacuation. We evacuated the mall. I'm like, you evacuate the mall? I go, how did he get a bomb threat? He said, you called in a bomb threat. I said I was Muammar Gaddafi. And I sent Libyan missiles to hit Sears Hardware in Valley Stream. Listen, that's on whoever hired him, and that's on him. That's on you right now. That ain't on me. You can't be, something wrong with him. I'm sorry. So now I got to go downstairs and got to meet all these cops. Like there's a lot of cops waiting for me. And there's a private security room where they have cameras and all the cashiers. And I sit in there and I'm going through every cop. The cops will be like, so wait a minute. Say this one more time. I said I was Muammar Gaddafi. No, do the noise. I'm like, hello, man. And then and each cop would go, hey man, if you ever get pulled over, here's a card, a PBA card, and just show them that you get pulled over, and they should let you go. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. I made all the way to the chief. Chief showed up, and the chief, he goes, tell me what happened. And I tell him the story, and he goes, that guy's a suspect. I mean, you can't be. He goes, listen, man, I'm the chief. He gives me his card. I'm like, oh wow, thanks. And then he goes, I'd love to help you, but it's in the feds' hands, and the feds are here. Okay. Because I'm going to send them in. I went, okay. They're going to love this story, don't you think? And the feds came in, and they were a little different. The guy was like, hey, listen, I don't know what everyone thinks is so funny here, but you're in serious trouble. He goes, I had to leave on a helicopter and get here as soon as possible. I had to let the national defense know that we may have a serious terrorist situation here. So you don't get to call your lawyer. You don't have to call mommy and daddy. I'm the government. And if I don't think your story is right on, you're going to have a pretty tough day today. I said, okay. And he goes, keep eye contact. I went, okay. I said, I called the guy from Hardware. And I said, I'm Muammar Gaddafi. And I sent 6 Libyan missiles to hit Sears Hardware. And I go through the whole story. And I said, and I ended by saying, long live paint. And he goes, yeah, that guy's a suspect. Well, now I go to Sears, and the guy in Hardware is still working there. Everyone in there is my friend, and all you would hear, I'd be in paint. I was on probation, so I'm just being really good. I'm like, hi, welcome to Sears Paint. Let me help you with this paint situation. And all I would hear is everybody that would go on break would walk by Hardware and go, watch out, there's a bomb. And they just, yeah, take cover. They were relentless, and the poor bastard eventually quit. And I don't know whatever happened to him. I wish he'd come out and say, I was the guy and it was terrible. I apologize. I apologize to you that you fell for the joke.